The job market in America is the toughest that it's been in years. A resume is the first chance that you get to introduce yourself to a place where you're seeking employment, so it's very important that you make a good first impression. My name is Katie Belcher, and I'm the office manager of Show Me Shortline Company, so I see a lot of resumes. In this speech, I will explain to you how to create a basic resume, as well as give you some tips as to what employers look for when they're looking at resumes. Start your resume off. The cover letter is the first page that you do. A cover letter isn't necessary. You don't necessarily have to do one, but it's just another opportunity for you to explain yourself and introduce yourself to the employer further. You just really want to give a brief background of yourself, explain why you're interested in the job, why you feel like you're qualified for the job, and why you think they should hire you. Some mistakes people often make in creating a cover letter is they make them way too long. People don't want to sit and read a 3-page long cover letter. A couple paragraphs is definitely enough. Another mistake people make is they just use like a generic copy of a cover letter. You actually want to make it personal and create it yourself, I guess. And then lastly, you don't want to actually re-summarize your resume in your cover letter because you've attached your resume for a reason. They can look at your past employers, your educational background and all that. The cover letter is really just for you to say why you think you'd be good at the job. Next, I'm just going to walk through the resume and how it's supposed to look from top to bottom. The top of a resume, you're going to have your header, which is going to list your name, address, phone number, email address if you have one, just so the employer, if they're interested in getting a hold of you for an interview, they know exactly how. Second step is your career objective statement, and this is just a statement pretty much saying, you know, your name and what you're looking for in a career, whether it be long-term employment, short-term employment, something temporary, something part-time, just kind of gives the employer more of an idea of what you're looking for. After the career objective statement, you're going to list your past employers. For all of your past employers, you want to list your job title, the name of the employer, your direct supervisor, as well as 4 to 5 bullet points explaining exactly what you did at that job. You want to list, when you're listing your employers, you want to list your most recent employer first and the one furthest in the past last, and you generally want to go back about 7 years of employers if you can. However, if you've had a lot of jobs that you've only had a week or two, so your resume is going to be 10 pages if you go back 7 years, cut out the ones that aren't important. Next, also in the past employers, you also want to be sure to cite any accomplishments or special awards or recognitions that you got while you have the job. The next section is the special skills section. This is just a section where you want to list anything that you're good at. If you're proficient with a 10-key calculator, or very good at a certain word program, or really good with computers, or really good with your hands, anything that you're good at and that's going to benefit you in getting this job is what you want to list in this section. Next, you're going to list your educational background. You want to start first with your most recent college, then list any other colleges and trade schools you attended, and lastly list your high school. You just want to be brief and list when you went, like briefly when you went, what classes you studied, just kind of basic information. After that, some people include this and some people don't. It's kind of a preference thing. Personally, when I look at resumes, I like it when people include their hobbies and interests because it gives me more of an idea of exactly, you know, what kind of person it is that we're going to be calling and interviewing and talking to. But in saying that, when you list your hobbies and interests, nobody's interested to know what you do all the time. Maybe you stick to the stuff that you do that's unique. If you collect something that's cool and different, or if you have a hobby that not a lot of people do, that's stuff that makes you stand out to employers. And then lastly is your references. There's 2 different ways you can do this. Some people choose to just say, contact me if you want references. So the employer has to call you to get the numbers and the names to your references. The other way is just go ahead and list the references yourself. That's generally what I do. You want to list your reference, their occupation, how you know them, how long you've known them, as well as their phone number so the employer can get a hold of them to talk to them. Generally, 3 references is enough. Two work references and 2 personal, or 2 work references and 1 personal reference is generally what they recommend. So in conclusion, in a tough job market, any advantages you can give yourself are definitely worth it. Now that you know the basics of creating a resume, hopefully doing so is one of the advantages that you can give yourself. Just remember to keep it brief, make it personal so potential employers can get a sense of who you are, and always be truthful. Thank you.